Buzz.
Record. Yay. Okay. All right. So with that all being said, I had to create a system. I am a systems girl. Like if I am going to do anything, I have to have a system or else it won't get done because I've learned to work with my personality over the years, and this is the system that I created. It's called Freedom to Flourish. And I want to tell you a little bit about the name of it, because the reason that it was created was because I felt like I was so trapped. I felt like I was trapped in a place, in all those places I just told you about, like scarcity, survival mode, like all these different things I felt like I could not break free from. And I didn't really know what that meant. Like, I didn't know or realize I was living in survival mode. I would wake up every day thinking, how am I going to pay Peter or rob Peter to pay Paul? How am I going to survive? What, like, even if that wasn't even actually going on, I still went into this survival mode. I remember once I started thinking about what does this even look like, I started recognizing all of these little traits that I had. Even coffee, y'all, like a coffee pod, like I would be like, oh my gosh, I only have 5 more pods. Like I'm gonna have to buy another case. And even though I had $20,000 in my bank account, like I still lived in survival mode. So a few years ago, well, maybe like 7 years ago, I started figuring out why. And that is when I decided that I had to share this, because I don't want other women or men, anybody living in this place where I used to live. And the reason why is because of my childhood. It all comes down to that. You cannot run from your childhood. You have to heal from your childhood. Now, I'm going to get to some of those traits and tell you all a little bit more about that. But let me just tell you, I've been a real estate agent, career realtor. I say that because I'm not a realtor that just does a few deals a year. Like, I consider myself a career realtor. For 21 years, I've had a successful real estate business where at a minimum, I did at least 30 transactions a year. And, you know, several of those years was more like 50, 60. So I have always known what to do or figured out what to do. I definitely am a survivor. Like, I will figure it out whether it feels good or not. I did what I had to do, whether I liked it or not. So I know there's several of you who are struggling to get a deal, and I hope that this could help you get to where you are, where you need to be, so you can do the work. So average 50 transactions per year over the past several years. I'm a published author. Step Into Your Brave was the book that I bravely wrote last year. After I figured all this stuff out and started putting my story together, I decided, or I got asked to write this book. And so I decided that, I kind of broke my life down into these chapters. Like, you have your childhood from till 10, and then you have your teen years, your 20s, your 30s. Like, I really think of each one of these as like a chapter in my own book, even though I just did a chapter in this book talking about how I overcame a lot of this stuff. It's making me be a lot braver with putting myself out there now, because you know what? Before you know it, this chapter is going to be closed. And I want to make the most out of every single chapter, because who knows how many chapters are left in my personal book. And so this has really given me a place to step into my brave and just do the damn thing anyway. So, I want to also say that through all of that, I raised 4 sons, and now I have 7 grandsons. I have no girls. I'm a boy mom, and I want to set a really good example for those sons. And I have. They're doing amazing, but it hasn't, my oldest struggled with a lot of issues, and there were days that I just dropped to my knees and prayed and said, God, just take him. Like, I can't deal with it anymore. I've been through a lot, y'all. So I'm also a survivor of childhood trauma and abuse. And so just to give you guys a little bit of history on me. I'll spare you all the details. There's a lot more to that, and that's in another video. So my point to all of that, though, is that if I can do this, like, anyone can do this. This is real estate. This is just a small business. This is putting yourself out there, creating your abundance business plan, and really just going for it. And so I'm going to share with you through all of these slides and these pillars. So my Freedom to Flourish framework, this is it. And this is what we're about to go over. The first pillar is mindset. The second pillar is foundations. The third is automations. And the fourth are funnels. So no matter where you're at in this business, like, you could break it down to the fact that you are working in one of these pillars. And so, let's just kind of dig into these. So today is the challenge. So I'm going to challenge you, and I sent you all a download, and that is an abundance challenge. As soon as I close this out, we're going to go to that. But if you have it open or you printed it or whatever, we go through this week by week, because this challenge is going to really kind of flow into a workshop for those of you that want to join me on a weekly Q&A call as you work through these areas over the next 4 weeks. I am going to create a private Facebook group, and we're going to jump in there and we're going to be able to help each other. But at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you a lot more tools. So go with me, and let me check the chat really quick. Angela, if you would do that too, like, if you need to record me for anything, or record me, interrupt me for anything, so I don't have to check the chat, that would be awesome. But if you guys have questions, like, this is interactive. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear from you if you have questions. So let's just kind of dig into this. So this is Tony Robbins is one of my favorite gurus. Absolutely love him. I love everything he's about. I went to Unleash the Power Within a few years ago. I've seen several of his different things, and it's really funny because I was in such a different place when I first started watching him, and now I'm in a completely different headspace, and I love it. I love where I'm at right now compared to where I was when I first started watching him. But this is my favorite quote from him: what we focus on determines how we feel, and how we feel, our state of mind, powerfully influences our actions and our interactions. This is so true every single day for you guys. And this is why I start with that. This is week 1, and the first pillar is mindset, and getting your mindset set on a daily routine. Because if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and you get up and you're grumpy and your energy's low and you're negative, guess what you're going to get for that whole day? That's what you're going to get in return. And so it is so important that you come up with a ritual, a morning routine that can really just bring you out of that. And there's so many different tools that you can use. Some days I wake up and I need every single one of those tools, but I will not start working until I am in the headspace that I know I need to be in to be the agent that I need to be for people. So, because people want to work with people that they love, that they know, like, and trust, right? So it's so important. And that's why we talk about this in week 1. And that's why I think this is the most important pillar of my framework, because if you do not have your mindset right, then the rest doesn't matter, because you won't do it. And I know, because I've been there. I would do just enough so that I could survive. And that's what living in survival mode is. It's that loop where you're like, I just need enough. I just need this one more deal. I just need $10,000. I just need this. We need to start thinking bigger. Once you start thinking bigger and you get out of that loop, like, you're able to open up more doors instead of just walking past them. And, I'm going to read this really quick. So mindset and past trauma, we're all in a different place, but I think that by a show of hands, who in this group, I'm stealing this from you, Angela, who in this group had some kind of past trauma, whether it be your childhood, most likely your childhood, because that's when our brains are the most likely to be influenced by what our parents do. But if you guys could either well, you can't raise your hand, but just put in the chat, like, yes, if you have some kind of trauma, like I do, I have it all. You name it, I have it. My dad died of alcoholism. My parents divorced before I was one. I was abused by a babysitter, and just I went to like 17 different schools, and I was bullied at like every one of them. And so we all have all of these stories. So let me open up the chat. Yes, yes, me, like, it's just so true. Like so many of us live in this space. And I will say that Angela Kristen Taylor is on this call, and she is one of my dearest friends right now. And I would not have figured this out and been able to get past this. Like, I almost want to start crying because I'm so grateful to be where I am right now versus where I was before. But I had to figure this out. Nobody could figure this out for you. And half of the people out there, like the counselors, the what are they called, psychologists or whatever, like they don't know, because they don't know, like they know book study, whereas Angela helped me get through all of this stuff and work through it, figure out, because I was able to identify and she was able to identify. And so I'm just going to read this real quick. So we're all in a different place, but most likely have some kind of trauma. Where are you in your healing journey? This is so important. Don't stay stuck in the same story. Become a fly on the wall inside of your mind. You have to literally look back at your day, journal throughout your day, stop and pay attention to what you're doing and what's going on, and just be a fly on the wall, take notes. Like, I found myself doing all of these different things, living in survival mode, because that's where I lived my entire childhood. We never had enough anything. I was told about the tooth fairy at like the age of 6 because my mom didn't have 2 pennies to put under my pillow. And so I lived in scarcity with money. So I just kept doing that over and over and over. No matter how much money I made, I just spent it all. Like I just lived in this place where I did not take care of things. So then do all the work to heal these. I'm not here today to tell you about all of this stuff, but I'll tell you, you can't live in the past and the future at the same time. Heal the past and move on to the beautiful life that is waiting for you. And this can be done because I just know that it can be done, but you're the one that has to do the work. So where are you? This has to do with mindset, and this is a long funnel or pillar, because there's so many different things to the mindset. So let's move on though. If we'll talk more about that, and I'll answer any questions that y'all might have. And if there's any questions now that I need to address while we're dealing with it, please let me know, Angela. Don't ever compare your journey to someone else's. We all started at 0. Some of us were below 0, and that's where we started. But, I know there's some new agents on here, and so many times I see new agents compare themselves, and they're down here on this first step, and they compare themselves to somebody up here on step 10. And you're not there, and you're never going to be where that agent is unless that agent goes backwards or you stop going up. But if you just keep doing the work and climbing these steps, you'll be up there. Don't focus on who's already there, because comparison kills joy. And when you start comparing yourself to other agents and their business and what's going on out there, and you stop focusing on your plan, that's when you are going to fail. And you need to not go there. Just don't do that. We don't want you to fail. So let's just keep going. Another thing that I talk about with mindset is time blocking from your abundance plan. We're going to get into your abundance plan. And if you join me in the 4 weeks, like hopefully by the end of the 4 weeks, you really know where you're at, what you need to do. And you've really given this some eyes on your business, eyes on your struggles, eyes on what you need to heal, and together we can get you to that next, to the right people, because there's people that can help you. So time block. And I want to say I'm not a traditional time blocker. Like, I'm really bad about putting something on here from 9 to 10. I'm more of a task time blocker. I will work on a task and I'll list the tasks and I'll know that I need to do those on Monday or Tuesday. You got to figure out what works for you for time blocking, though, not what works for other people. I know there's so many coaches out there that teach like you have to time block. You do need to time block or know where your time is being spent, but you also then need to adjust it to work with your energy and your flow so that you're the most productive at the right time of the day, at the right time of the week. Like, I know I've put a lot of energy into this event today. So I'm going to rest. Like, I will need to rest after this. There will be no more videos for me. I'll need to probably take a nap later because I was up late working on it. And just thinking, I woke up in the middle of the night thinking like, oh my gosh, I need to not forget to tell them about this or whatever I could do to help. So pay attention to what's going on in your own plan, not somebody else's. All right, here's just a few other things that have helped me along the way. And we talk about the vision a lot on our abundance plan. That I have that pulled up and I'm going to go through that when we get done with these slides. But visualize, what's your vision? Where do you want to be in a year? If you've never really thought about that and done this, like, let's just work on 1 year at a time. I have my 1 year, my 2 year, my 3 year, my 5 year, and my 10 year, but I spend years planning and figuring this stuff out. Meditate. There are so many meditations out there that are guided meditations that could really help to relieve some of the stress in your body that you can listen to get you into the right headspace. And so I love meditations. Reading, I'm always reading or listening to a good book. I'm gonna recommend 2 books today, and I'll just do that right now. I don't know that I have them both here with me. I don't. I have, well, always I could recommend my own book, right? Step into Your Brain. But the book I want to do right now is the 12-week year. If you're not sure about what your vision looks like or how to get your vision broke down into goals for yourself, and it's just a fabulous book. I absolutely love this book. When I do one-on-one coaching, I coach with this book. I have a 12-week program, and we do that according to all of the guidelines and the foundational pieces in this book. I love it. So if you don't have that book, that's a great place to start. And it's a great time of the year. We're going into the 4th quarter, and it's really a time to build. And let me say something about that. So many agents are dropping out of this business right now, and that is so sad because the market might be low, but they're giving up when oops, sorry, my watch is talking to me, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to take that off. She's like, I don't understand. Where was I? So planning. So this quarter is a great time to build your database. It's so important that you are on top of your database, your CRM, all the stuff I'm talking about. This next 4 weeks is going to make it for you next year. So let's just keep going. Inspiring YouTube videos, super important that you watch inspiring things, not negativity, like the news and all of that. You're going to hear about it anyway. You don't need to watch it all day, every day. It will just bring you down and put you into that place and space of non-productive. And so also yoga and walking, I do that every day, one or the other. Or I also have some light weights that I lift. Like, figure out what works for you. Read and write your intentions, healthy lifestyle, at least 80% of the time, because who doesn't like a glass of wine? So really important. I lost 30 pounds 2 years ago, and it has been life-changing, and I feel so much better. And now really look at what I put into my body, because I want to be healthy. I don't like being mentally foggy, I guess is the best way to put that. And so what are you doing? And then always have a coach. You know what? I'll be your free coach, because we're going to jump into 4 weeks. I do this for free always, because I want every real estate agent to have something that can motivate them, inspire them, and get them moving. However, I have spent thousands of dollars on coaching, and I wouldn't be where I am today without those professional coaches. And when you don't know where you need to be, and you definitely don't know how to get there, like you don't even know that you have a problem, coaches are key to getting to that next level and above that ceiling that you've crashed into. So I think we should always have some kind of coach. It depends on what your income is, but also it depends on where you need the help. So we can talk about this later, but what pillar are you struggling with? Are you struggling with the mindset? Some of you might be just like, none of this is even applying to me. Well, just wait, we might get to your struggle. But where are you, and what are you struggling with? I have had coaches for YouTube, for video. I've had mindset coaches. I've had database coaches. I've had, you name it, I've done it. And so I share it all too. So let's keep going. Okay, let me have a drink. Okay, so week 2, and you guys can walk away from this with the abundance plan, and you could go do this all on your own if you don't want to jump into what we're going to move forward with inside of the group. But week 2, we're going to talk about foundations. And what are foundations? These are my foundations to my business. They're the things that I know I need to make sure always are level 10. Because if they're not level 10, I need to do something, hire a coach, figure it out, or use YouTube, whatever, to get them to a level 10, because my business counts on it. Without these foundational things, then I'm not going to be able to do what I do. And so I'm going to go through these a little bit. So the first one on here, and I do think that they should be in this order, but you get to make up your own. Like I said right here, take the time to sit and really think about what you want your business to look like in a year from now, and where are you with these things. So the first one is your CRM. I just switched brokerages recently, and I was a KB Core user level 10. Like, I had everything set up in there. I've spent thousands of dollars on that platform, and now my new broker has Chime. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to learn a new program. I was a little bit hesitant about that, but I decided I wasn't closing that door just because of the CRM. So it's really funny. You don't know what you don't know. And Chime is so much easier. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting it set up, but so far I'm like, this is like so much more user-friendly and so great. But whatever CRM you're going to use, this is your business. You're now a small business owner, and you need to track your people. And how are you doing that? Some people say, in fact, here's a statistic that I got from from NAR, 70%. And I did a poll in my group too, and it was the same thing. 70% of real estate agents don't even use the CRM. They just kind of wing it, or they use it they have one, but they don't use it. Okay, now let me jump over to the other statistic. 20% of the top producers use their CRM at a high level. What does that tell you? It tells you that in order to be one of those 20% of the agents out there, you got to use your CRM. We can't internalize all these conversations that we have. I got sent an email this morning and I was like, I know I had a conversation with this person, but who is it? Like, I had to go back and research and try to remember. So it's so important that you keep all your people in a CRM. And I love my VIP database. So the VIP database is something that should be in your CRM, but it's also something that you need to spend extra time with. I do a whole class on your VIP database, and we will talk more about that in our private group later, because I could just go on and on. But I keep my VIP database on a private Excel spreadsheet. It goes with me wherever I'm able to print it, highlight it, call those people. It just brings them top of mind all the time. They're not in this CRM with the other 4,000 people. I want them on a special thing so that I always keep them top of mind. The next thing is your logos and your colors, your branding. Your branding is super important. And I see so many agents that don't really do anything with this. And it's really hard to go create pieces and go create branding and marketing pieces and everything without it. So that's something that we really work on. And the next thing is offers. So what is an offer? You're a real estate agent, and an offer is so important. And I never really realized this until this year, how important an offer is. An offer is like a signature thing that is top of funnel, that is a lead magnet of some kind that is going to pull that lead into your CRM. It's what you're going to put out there into the world to say, this is what differentiates me from other realtors. You need to spend time on your offer. And I have so much to say on this now, because you can go to NAR, you can pull up the buyer report or the seller report that they put out every year, figure out what people are looking for and create your offer from that. We're going to talk more about offers and funnels too. So I'm just going to keep going. Canva is where I use all my logos, my colors, my offers to create meaningful pieces of marketing to share with my people on my social media sites or in emails or on video, wherever. But this stuff all flows together, right? Like, these are the foundation pieces for you to go out there and show people you are the one they need to work with. So now this bottom one I throw in here because I have a lot of agents in my stuff that they don't know how to use their MLS, or they don't know how to use Zip Forms. And those two platforms are huge. Zip Forms has classes in it to learn how to do a CMA. There are so many classes on your MLS that they give you for free. The first thing every brand new agent should do is take every single class that their board of realtors offers, because this is your business. Knowing your market is huge. Like, you need to know how to do these things. It's not up to your mentor, your sponsor, your broker, anyone to teach you these things. They might offer classes, but you need to go on to those two platforms and learn how to use them properly and at a high level. And you know why? This is the biggest reason. It's because it's going to build your confidence. And when you have confidence in yourself as a realtor, you're going to be able to put yourself out there and say, I know my shit, right? Like, you're not going to question yourself and be like, I'm not really sure if I should do that. Those two things, you guys, learning how to use Zip Forms and learning how to use your MLS and RPR. I love RPR. Those things are the most important things for you. I do teach all of this in my foundations course, which that's a whole different thing, but you can go for free on both of those platforms and learn how to use them. So I hope that this really helps you. So this is all just, we've covered mindset and we've covered foundations, and we're probably almost out of time because Lord knows I could talk, but we're not. But I'm gonna kind of go through these next two pretty quick because I don't have a lot a lot to say. Automations is automations. Like I said before, I am a systems person. I like to systemize. I like to automate because then I want to delegate, and I will give my VAs as much work as I possibly can. But first, I learn how to use it. I do not ever give them something and say, hey, go for it. I expect you to learn how to do this. I learn how to do it first. And then I say, okay, this is something I can trust that I could delegate to them. And I've had an assistant since probably 2012. Lisa Williams here locally was my assistant forever. And then she retired, not resigned, but she retired and didn't want to do it anymore. And so I then went to virtual assistants, and I've had 2 virtual assistants for the past year that I've been training. And so I'm trying to create a course on how to do that. And so you can ask me anything about that too, if that's something you're interested in. But let's just go through these automations that for me, they're huge. And I share in my paid course, the foundations course, I actually share a business in a box, and I share all of these things with you. But there's something that you don't have to go do that program, that you could do them on your own. But these are just the automations that I think every agent should know, and they've been life-changing for me. Chrome, Google Drive, just Google everything, like know how to use everything Google has to offer. Your buyer and seller presentations. And I think it's so important that every agent has this automated. So when you get a buyer or a seller, you could pull a folder. Hopefully you have some really nice folders from your broker that you purchased, and put your presentation in there along with your buyer docs or your seller docs, so they have a copy. And I go over this a lot more in other things as well. But you need to show up looking like the professional that knows what they're doing, so that they want to hire you. And your job is to educate them. And so that presentation that you do, and to educate them on this process, it's super important. Closing spreadsheet. I have a Google Drive spreadsheet that has all my closings all the way back to like the year 2012. And so I know my numbers from every year. A budget spreadsheet, that's so important. You need to know your numbers and you guys, I had to create all of this stuff because I suck at numbers. Like, I'm awful. I'm a horrible bookkeeper. I hire a bookkeeper. I hire someone to do everything because I know me and I am not going to do it. So I'm actually working with this girl. Her name is Amber, and I'm going to have her on as a guest on my podcast in November. But she is setting up a whole accounting system for us as agents, according to that tax class that I did the other day that is specifically for real estate agents. I'm so excited to be a part of putting this all together, and we're going to probably be launching it like in January, so that everyone can jump on and be able to keep better books and know when you go to buy a car, you know what you're looking for. You're looking to buy, what weight do you need to buy? Like, what are we able to write off? All these things that we don't know. So budget spreadsheet. I keep what's called a board spreadsheet, so I can at any time because it's Google, at any time on my phone, my tablet, wherever, couple clicks, and I see everything. I love it. So that's some of the automations. Basically, you got to look at everything that you do. If you can automate it, and then bookmark it in your bookmarks so that you know where you automated it. All right, week 4. Okay, this is where the magic happens. So now you got your systems all set up. You've got your branding's all good. You know how to use Canva. You're putting ads out there. You have a great offer. What are your funnels? What are your lead generation funnels? And this is where I see agents all the time not have enough. I will say this with confidence: if you do not have enough business, you do not have enough funnels. That's all there is to it. People are still buying and selling houses, but if you're not working your funnels to get leads into them, then that is on you. So sometimes, like, I used to be able to do everything from one funnel, and that was my VIP database. And we were able to close those deals because of referrals. But when the market started slowing down, I'm like, oh crap, what? I got to go take my own advice and get some more lead gen funnels. And so that's what I'm doing. So, what does a lead generation funnel look like? These are a few. So, and each one has like a beginning and an end, and it's literally, it's to get these leads, one, into your database, and then, or your CRM, and then you need to create the marketing and the value propositions along the way. So, and videos, I love videos. People, you send people videos, they're going to call you when they're ready to buy. That's the important part of this. They're not always ready to buy or sell. This business is not about now business. You're lucky to get now business, but your job should be about filling your pipeline so that you get future business. And once you start doing that, it's just a cycle that these leads flow in and out of your systems, and you have follow-up process. You have all of this done. It is all about your system. So I'm going to give you a few funnels that are really that are good. You've got to really figure out, though, what is going to work with your personality. Because I'll tell you, I used to do open houses when I worked at Keller Williams like 15 years ago, and they told me I needed to go walk a neighborhood and knock on doors. And I freaked out. I pulled up, I was going to do it. I was like, okay, I could do this. I could do anything because I'm Dawn Loding. But I pulled up in my car and I parked, and I just started crying. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I am not knocking on those doors. That is just so cheesy and crazy. And it's just not for my personality. And then I thought, you know what? Forget, I'm not going to like live in this space where I'm sad and I feel like a failure. So screw them. Like, I don't have to do this. So I still did my open house, and I went on to do other lead generation funnels, knowing that door knocking was not going to be in my future. Then my very first buyer agent that I ever hired was Clayton Jewett. Love this guy still. He moved away, and he is still, we still talk yearly, at least, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But he was that personality. He walked a neighborhood. We had to do 3 open houses in Oak Run one year because we had 3 listings. And so I made a whole party out of it. And that is something I love to do. I'm all about building relationships and, working on parties and planning and all that kind of stuff. So that was right up my alley. We had a bounce house at one, and a hot dog party at another, and a dessert at another. And we got all kinds of deals. But Clayton walked that neighborhood because he was a good BSer. Like, he could just talk that talk. I would be up like, they're going, like, what are they going to do? They're going to shoot me or something. But you got to figure out which ones are going to work for you. And then you start at the top and you do this. You create your offer. Each one of these needs to have an offer, something that you're going to build in Canva through marketing, whatever. It could be a discount. It could be sign up with me and get a $500, whatever your state allows you to do. I shouldn't say that because then I get all this feedback about it could be done, but what are you going to give them? I know Jessica Smith has a great plan on, I think it's like a move up plan. There's so many that you could do for sell by owners. If you're going to market to for sell by owners, you could put together there's so many different things. You just have to figure out what works for you. And I find the best way to do that is to go onto YouTube and sit there and watch what other people are doing. This is when it is okay to watch other realtors so that you can figure out what you want to do for your offer and for your funnel. So I hope that helps with the funnels and the offer. Bonus, what's your offer? Like, I just kind of put that there because that should be at the top of your funnel. All right, so that is it. How are we doing on time? I got 10 minutes. I sped right through that. Okay, so no matter what you're doing in your business, you're working on one of these areas. So why not get all that stuff out of your head, sit down and journal and write down in each one of these areas what you need to do. And you're going to be able to do that because here in a second, I'm going to show you how. All right. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about my story over the past like 7 years. So uh, I used to be a realtor at Remax at KW first, and then I was at Remax for not even like maybe 6 months. But I was when I was at KW and I had the big office and I had everything I thought I was supposed to have, and I was just not happy. Like I was not feeling it. I was not happy, even though I was successful. I just knew something was missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I thought I just needed to change brokers. So I went to Remax and I was there for about 6 months and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I went backwards. And sometimes we do that. Like it takes opening a door to figure out that wasn't the right door sometimes to get into the right door. And so I was introduced to the very first cloud-based brokerage, and I saw what that had to offer, and I was like, oh my God, this is what I meant to do. Like, so I shut that other door and I opened up my whole world to this online cloud-based brokerage. And I am so, so grateful that I did. I know a lot of you are probably on one of those brokerages, and it is literally life-changing. I learned how to create multiple streams of income, create a national referral base, have the best technology and platform my clients. And I'm happy to say real estate is fun again. And I just moved from one cloud-based brokerage to another, and I had to make this move, even though I love both of them. The one I'm at is a lot better for the agents I teach, because it's about simplicity, and that's what we have at the brokerage that I'm at right now. If you're struggling with any of this kind of stuff, you can book a call with me. I have a site that you could go to that's talk and then the number two dawn.com. You can read more about my story at dawnloading.com. Please remember, always, always, don't ever forget, if you can dream it, have the courage to take action and have the discipline to stay on the right path, you will make it. Might take a while, but you will make it. I'm going to show you guys where all of this stuff is, free tools. I told you my story a little bit about that childhood that I was talking about. And when I found real estate, I just knew that I wanted to help other women and a few good men, really not make all the not have to go through all the trouble that I went through, even though I had all that success. Like it was more of a struggle, a headache, a heartache. Like it was hard, and it doesn't have to be. It could be easy, especially with all the tools. If you could get yourself out of the overwhelm, that is the biggest thing. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I have to help you. A lot of you are probably already in my Real Estate Untangled group. If you're not, that's where you could go. And the link to that is also on dawnloading.com. My Instagram is dawn.loading, where I share a lot of stuff. Thank you for watching. And that is it for this. But now we're going to jump into that challenge that I shared with you. This is, and I'll put a copy of this right now in the chat for those of you who just happened to jump on the call and didn't get the email, whatever. I am going to do this challenge every single month toward the end of the month, so that for the following month, everybody could jump in. It's like a 30-minute call, y'all. Like, the work is up to you. I just am here to help guide you through, so that if you have questions, I have answers, or I don't have all the answers, trust me, but I know who does. Like, I will point you in the right direction. So this is that abundance challenge. Week 1, we're going to jump in, and you get to fill this out. This is for y'all to fill out. If you want me to show you what mine looks like, I will at 11, for those who want to stay a little bit late. And after I turn the recorder off, I will be happy to show you what my abundance plan looks like. But it's all filled in, and I open it almost daily. I kind of have it memorized, and sometimes I could open it on my phone, but these are all the different areas what's your vision? Where do you want to be in a year from now? Because when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, this is where you go. You're like, oh wait, I ain't got time for that. Like, I got shit to do. Like, let me get busy. Let me get my feet up and going. Week two, we're going to get on, or well, week two, you're going to be working on that CRM. Take that whole week and just work on your CRM. Whatever you're missing, if you're missing all of these, you might need to join my challenge for a while, or you might need the foundations course. Whatever you need, I have it there for you, because once you get this all done, the coaches you're going to need are the coaches who help you with the funnels, because that's where you need to be working. But if you don't have your mindset right, you don't have your systems or your automations, then why go create funnels? You won't call those people. You have nothing to offer them. So let's get your stuff all aligned with you and your personality and set up so that you could then go do the lead gen and pull the people into your stuff. So week two, we work on all this. These are just some ideas of some marketing things that you could share on your social media and that you could work on. I highly recommend Facebook and connecting it to your Instagram so that you get 2 out of 1. Then week three, automations. I don't put a lot in here. I put your buyer packet and your seller packet. If you don't have those two done, we're going to dig deep into that on automations. I'm going to show you where to go and how to get that. And then just some more examples, campaigns in your CRM, your budget, all of those things. Those are all awesome automations. And then week four, funnels. We're going to work on that. What are your lead gen funnels? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every one of you should be working on at least 5 funnels, if that's where you want to be. I say that because I feel like you're here because you want a plan and you want to have all of this stuff, but don't know quite how to do it. So you might only want to work your VIP database. Most agents, those agents that don't have the CRM set up and don't use it and don't have all this, they are like one funnel. It's friends and family. They might be lucky that mom told her neighbor about them and they're going to go sell a house to her. But that's doable, but it's not sustainable. Like those family members will run out and you're not, you're not really getting the most that you can out of that real estate license. I feel like all of us, I don't know about you, I got licensed in 2 states, but the best day, one of the, short of my kids being born and getting married twice, getting my real estate license was right up there at the top. And I remember when we were writing the book last year, I was like, I had to write down like these moments in my life that were so high so that I could take myself to those times when I was feeling bad. And so you got your real estate license for a reason. You had this dream that you were going to be this real estate agent, and you all can be. There's enough business out there for all of us. Stop using the excuses that there's not, because there is. Go check your MLS. There's still deals closing. We can make more money closing 1 deal a month, 12 deals a year than we can probably any other job, unless you have some kind of a degree. So it's just up to you to build this, and I want to help you. All funnels need an offer. What's your offer? We'll talk about that more too in that class. So then also I have here my Real Estate Untangled group. That link is everywhere. You're all probably already in it. I'm also part of the Power Girls group, and we're having guest speakers in the Power Girls group monthly starting in October. So, I'm sitting here showing everybody everything. Sorry, those people all have to wait. So what was I saying? Forgot what I was saying. But if you're on this call, I'm going to be emailing you a link. Or
talking about Power Girls.
Oh, Power Girls. Mary's like, yeah, Power Girls gone. But I bring in a special guest on that. I'm also going to be doing it on my podcast. Like, I bring speakers to you guys who I feel are going to bring you amazing value. So when I create these events, and I do that with our Power Girls group, Mary and I and Angela have been part of Power Girls for years, and we're on Facebook, and we've now brought Power Girls to Epic. But it's not about where you're at, what brokerage, any of that. It's about having a tribe of women who support you and empower you and make you feel good. And that's what we built in our Power Girls group, and that's what we do. And so monthly, we have a speaker in there, just so many different things. But almost everything that I do, I post post in this Real Estate Untangled group, and then I share it. But now I started this new platform, and hopefully I'll be able to email it to all of you. So if you did not get an email from me for this group, you need to reach out to me so that I make sure that I get you on the right list and I'm able to send you all of this stuff. So I know there was a couple like Jay and Leslie did, they were the ones messaging me. So if you're watching this or you're watching the recording and you want in on those updates and those announcements, please let me know so that I can make sure you have the right tag. So there's all of that. And then I go into all of this. These are the tools that I use and I have used for years. I put them all in a link tree so that it's easy for you to get to. This is the challenge. I'll update it every time I have it. I'll update it so that we have the next one, and you can just keep going through it. Like if you want to work on your CRM and just get better and better, there's no end game in this business. Like we're going to keep going and keep perfecting. Implement now though, perfect later. So just keep doing it over and over with me. Here's the abundance plan download. If you don't have a copy, you could just go here to my link tree. It's just Linktree downloading Realtor. And then the VIP database, there's a blank one that you can make a copy of, and it has all of the spaces for you to put everyone. I am a big fan of send out cards. Listings to leads is fabulous. However, I know that pretty soon we're supposed to be getting Social Bay for those of you who are with Epic, and I believe it does the same thing, and I can't wait to switch over because I pay $60 a month. But if you use this link, you get 21 days free to go in and watch all of the things and see all. This is great for offers. This is all about offers and marketing and blogs, everything. They have it all that you could use. My favorite planner, my YouTube channel, my group, and Instagram. So that is where you can find all of that. Let's see if I had anything else on here. I went through that and I think we're good. I think that's it, y'all. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. So let's see. Let me stop recording.